evening, and good afternoon. How y'all doing today on this good, fine Sunday? Always, always, always know that it's a blessing to wake up on this side of the green. I got this guy, Jaydan, here today. He's my man. He seemed like a good dude. But what we're going to be talking about today is the shows that we've done to let you see how women do men or women how women feel about men. This is going to be a flip side to it because I want you to see it from not only you know this young man here, but he's got. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us how you feel about so far you coming up and from the time you started dating to now about how that makes you feel about the modern woman and the way you want your woman to be.
Well, I'm an artist, so I know in my life that there's going to be sacrifice with my time and where I'm going to be in my future. So if I'm worried about my career in the modern day, modern women, especially young women around my age, are doing the same. Everyone's very pretentious and very ambitious. Everyone's got ideas. People want to live to be free minded and kind of do whatever it is they want, and which is fine,
Well, what I'm
but
asking is, okay, as far as the dating world, as far as you viewing yourself being a man, the type of man you are, what kind of woman are you looking for, and why you can't find that woman today? We're not saying, that's just besides
mm,
your career. We know you
right.
want your career to take off, but focus and concentrate on that. But at the same time, you are going to have a period to where you're going to want a woman in your life. So, as far as the way they act today and the kind of woman you want, are you really looking for another woman, or really would like to have a relationship later on down the line, or are you just trying to say, you know what, I'm just going to sit back? So I'm trying to get your opinion because the thing is, these women are saying nowadays that, oh, if you date me, I got to have this. If you gonna do this, I got to have that. It's all a gimme, gimme, gimme. And it's not all women, but most of these modern women today, they feel like they're self entitled to everything. So with a woman feeling that way, and you're trying to get with her, and she says, "Hey, you got to pay for something," how would you feel about that? Would you pay for it and still continue to take her on a date, or would you not pay for it? Like I say, I want to know your opinion about that.
Definitely varies the person to person. Me, I would question it. Like I would like keep note of that because then I'll start thinking maybe like, all right, maybe you're just kind of here for just having fun. You're not trying to be serious, or is this going to be a committed thing? Or are you only committed to it because I'm only providing you with like fun or money and stuff like that? For dudes my age and me, what I would look for in a woman is she definitely have like her own. She has her like own stuff going for her the same way I would go on to do my own stuff. And if she's going to be the person to be asking me constantly about stuff, I would feel uncomfortable. I mean, as a guy, you shouldn't be feeling pressure to do something you should already want to be doing for somebody. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
as a young man, I know a lot of dudes that are all about like, well, I'm here to just kind of get mines, and they just kind of move on with it. And it seems kind of heartless, but a lot of times dudes have feelings these days.
So
They can
why do
be
you
very
feel like that,
sensitive.
and why do you feel dudes feel that way as far as saying, I'm just gonna leave the women alone and go this way? What is the turning point for you all, for you guys? Because like I said, back in the day when I was coming up, it was called courtship. What you do, you get together, you talk to each other, you meet each other's family, you know, and even then you're not really dating, you just get familiar with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And a friendship was formed. Then next thing you know, you guys get into a relationship. The next thing you know, you start getting married. And back then, there was more marriages than divorces, but now there's so many divorces and everything. But my thing is like, how do you feel as far as you being a man in today's era? How's the society impacting you as far as, like I said, anybody being in your life really. And as far as you trying to get to where you're going, what lessons have you learned as far as um, let's go back to the women for a minute because I still got some things that I'm not clear about with you. On your side, like you said, you was looking for what now? A woman that has her own, that's able to provide everything for herself.
Like she she understands her role. Like she understands the principle of, being in a relationship, turn serious to beyond that to like marriage.
And what do
uh
you feel like a woman's role is?
I wouldn't say like it's to be like submissive like all the time, like in that weird sense, because I know with the word brings this like negative vibe to it, but there's a reason there's a structure that did work for so long, and I feel what's corrupted that and messed that up is social media, like stuff that it gasses people up, and you realize you can see all the good in social media, but you don't. And when you see the bad, it's atrocious. Like it's like the worst thing ever, because everyone's only seeing this one side of the relationship constantly. Then once something hits the fan, and then you finally wonder what's going on, and people post about it, or you look on social media and you're like, hey, well, that relationship is working because they're doing this, and well, I want that. Instead of being focused on yourself and being focused on the relationship, because social media, it does corrupt that kind of that security that
No,
relationships had back
what you think
then.
about, you know, like I said, you got a girlfriend. What do you think about her going out with her friends all the time, listening to what her friends and everything? See, what I'm trying to see is, do you believe that the way you were raised and the way society is, the way we have to listen to our parents and everybody else, do you think that has some type of bearing on the way they was raised and being treated today?
Well, since there's not a lot of people growing up with both parents either in their lives or together that's happy, I also see why there's this weird uh obsession with friends or guys hanging out with the boys, and girls having those girls nights, and people being so worried about it because of TV shows or social media or whatever. Is that what is the word I'm thinking? Like, not rumor, stereotype when it comes to dating. Oh, you're going out. Well, look how you're dressed. I don't know. Like, then why were you dating a baddie in the first place? You know how she dressed. She dressed like that for you. Why are you mad that she's dressing like that now?
Now,
Like,
now,
you know,
would you yourself try to date a baddie if she dresses like that all the time?
to me, I mean, if I'm dating a baddie, I'm dating a baddie. I mean, I'm gonna dress the way I dress. I'm gonna be wearing my cool
All right, so how,
clothes. She's gonna wear whatever she wears.
so if she was wearing whatever she wears, you going out with your boys and everything, or you go out to a club, you and her, and you see all these men around. Now, as yourself as a dude, you looking like, damn, that girl fine, she hot, boy, I wouldn't mind like having her. Next thing you know, niggas come and test you and everything. It's not the fact that, do you think that's controlling that we tell them, hey, I don't want to see you like this, or do you think they should be allowed to dress with the way they want?
Yeah. Um, Girls' night out can be anything. So if it's
But
if it's the club, then
what
I
if she
mean,
is
if you're not
professional?
going with, I mean, I don't know what you're doing.
See, that's what I'm saying. Girls' night.
If
What
it's a
I'm
girls'
saying
night at
is,
the club,
if
that's kind
she's
of
dressed
crazy.
provocatively, like you said, you let her wear whatever you want to let her wear. Halter top and all this kind of stuff. What kind of problems do you think that's going to cause for you or her relationship, or do you think it will cause a problem?
I mean, if she's not actually entertaining them or talking to them, she's just kind of dressing the way she dressed because she knows she looks good in it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as you look good in it, but you know what your actual intent is. Like, if I'm dating someone that, because I'm looking at it at a perspective like, okay, I'm like a goth or punk dude, right? So if I'm dating another punk and goth girl, I'm not gonna want her to change the fishnets and the blacks and and the shorter skirt and stuff because now we're together.
All
You
right,
know what I'm saying?
let me get you to
So
look at it from this perspective. Old school, man. I'm not saying that a woman can't dress up, look nice, and look
Hmm.
good.
Hmm.
Yes, she can, but it's the way she carry herself. It's the way is what she wears that presents her as one of these hoes or sluts or no good, dirty ass women. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
The thing is, when you have, it's not us allowing them to wear what they want or not want. But if you're in a relationship with this person, the thing is allowing her to wear stuff like that. Whether she's out with girls getting her ears, and like next thing you know, shit happens, and
Mm.
then not only that, niggas is looking at you, with this girl, and niggas don't respect niggas nowadays. They just walk up to your girl, start talking to her, and she responds. Here it is. You looking like an ass, and you could be shot and killed because you're trying to stand up for her. Get away from my girl. But yet, look at what she wearing. See, that's drawing unwanted attention.
Hmm.
And see, that's the thing. It's not controlling when a man say, "Baby, would you not wear that?" Because I know how a nigga think. There's all kinds of niggas out there, all kind of things that happens. And see, that's why I was asking you from your point of view, because I want the world to understand how you're looking at it today and the way you believe and how you feel and the way it used to be. But at the same time, that shows the different level of structure that you've had in your life and the way the world responds and the way you respond to the
Right.
world. You see what I'm saying? Because I want people to understand, hey, we listen to things every day. And a lot of it's negative. You trying to get me to do something I don't want to do. They telling you that this person ain't no good. They telling you let's go beat up this person. Let's go steal this. It'd be cool and all this kind of stuff. We are influenced by everybody else's thoughts. And see, the thing is, you being a young man coming up in this modern world today and having to face whether or not your woman looking good and everything. Like I said, you all have to start digging into. I ain't saying you don't have logic because you're a very smart young man. I've been talking to you, and you're very bright, man. And my thing is, you have to start thinking with a little bit more logic to it because, for one, that logic is what's going to save you. Just like if y'all go out to a club, when I go, I'm not going out. I'm going to have fun with my lady. But the thing is, I got to watch Tom, Dick, and Harry over here. I got to watch this dude, this one. I got to watch where the door is, how far we are from it, who the one that's got the weapon on them, who don't. Are we going to be safe? Thing is, woman ain't thinking about that. And today, with the way, the thought that you just had, I'm not saying you think like that all the time. I know you know the kind of woman you want, but with the thought with just letting her go out here like that, not only is she disrespecting you, but she disrespecting herself first and foremost and degrading herself
Hmm.
because she's making herself look like this to get the attention,
Yeah.
but it's not the attention she wants. And whether if she dress up like that, I know the attention she gonna get because there's not a lot of good dudes out here. Most niggas nowadays want to smash and crash and be gone. You see what I'm saying? They ain't worried about the relationship no more. They ain't worried about whether or not they want a woman in their life. That's why I was asking you, would you want a woman in your life? Given today's modern women and the way they are today, what would you tell them to do or ask them to do and how to change? At you being a man and they seeing that, hey, this man's coming from his heart for what he feels that he wants
Right.
from a woman. So what would you want from a woman?
Well, like what I like from a woman is definitely like loyalty and then honesty, of course. And despite like what they could be wearing or their style, it's always that intent that really matters. If she was a certain way when you got her, but then you see her starting to slowly get comfortable with you, and she actually does slow down for you. I feel like in that sense too, that's another way of someone showing love. Because and I feel like in this generation, and it gets faster. So I would say like this generation is just fast ass people. Like they're
So you
they're they're
think
so quick to just falling in love and then getting to the breakup. You know what I'm saying? They want to beat you to the punch so fast because they're more caught up in the social media of it or the title or the label of it. People get so quick, and when you fall in love, they crash out so quick too. You know what I mean? When you move so fast, and this generation, it's like everybody's not just talking in your ear like when you're in the club. They're talking in your ear when they're on the phone texting or when they post or when they
mm-hmm.
do their TikTok. So and then like another thing to bring up is besides the club, there's girls out there that see themselves as the best thing ever. Their shit don't stink, and so they're on social media posting everything they got versus not just walking out dress like that. So I feel like it's definitely like, you got a baddie when she looks real good, but you can see her through her clothes. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
Like in a way, like she's wearing good stuff that is covering or whatever, but you already know, you can already tell. But
so if why would you want to share that and let your woman wear anything to let anything else be exposed except for you knowing? See, that's the thing. Me back in my day, the niggas I grew up with, we're territorial over our women. We
mm,
want our women for ourselves. It's not saying that, oh, we want every woman. Yeah, we're gonna be experimental when we ain't got nobody. And if
mm,
when we start getting somebody, it depends on change. See, change has got to happen on both sides.
yeah,
A woman has to go back to being the way, it is supposed to be in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to. God didn't say you didn't have to live your life, but He said be His helpmate. He's going to be the helpmate to you. And if y'all ain't understanding, ain't communicating, ain't trying to get past the, oh, what you gonna do for me, what you gonna do for me, what you gonna do for
mm,
me, you know, until we get past that, it's what somebody else quoted and I heard and I love it. This word called meology. I just want to give props to the
mm,
dude that gave it. I mean, that said it because I'm using it today. So, hey, dude, hey, look, you created a great word, but he called it meology, and it's called because it's all about yourself. It ain't about nobody else. You
mm,
ain't trying to understand today. Modern women has been taught to always expect something from a man. They ain't being taught how to treat a man, how to love a man, how to be that word submissive again. Y'all think it's slavery, but it's not. Submissive to her man. See, being submissive is to build that man up. But if you ain't being submissive, you're just taking that rib and running from him. Without ribs, you're gonna be all slouched down.
right,
Without
right,
I can't walk. But no, a woman's supposed to be able to play a woman's role. That's the
yeah,
emotion part. That's everything. A man's supposed to play his part as provider, leader, and everything. But y'all got to come together and work together as a team and change for each other and not the world. Thank you. Have a great day. I hope y'all get something out of this, and we love you all. Peace.